talking about the movie Juice. I'm gonna do one quick PSA before we move further into the discussion about this movie. I saw somebody post something. It was specifically related to wrestling, and they were like, "Why you got all these old like wrestling DVDs and stuff like that when you can just stream everything?" And the person was pointing out like, hard copies of things will never get deleted. They might just take stuff off of streaming platforms. I say all that to say, I had to sign up for a free trial to Paramount Plus in order to watch this movie. And that reminds me of the value of the DVD and the VHS collection. And now I'm like a little bit panicky about like not being able to see some of my favorite shows and movies because they might like cancel culture might eliminate a movie like Juice. When we're sitting here talking about an inappropriate relationship between a 30-something-year-old woman and a high school teenager, like they might sweep through here and say, "Hey man, we don't need to have access to that stuff on streaming platforms anymore."
The funniest thing about it is when we be streaming like a lot of these movies, like I got the DVDs upstairs. I just stream it just because it's convenient. But
the DVD of Juice?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, I had it for Friday and like I was just like, let me just pop it in. But because there's the other thing. Some things that they do on streaming platforms, if stuff is too problematic, they edit certain parts out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want that to happen. I want to watch things as they were originally intended by the director.
Well, as I watched the version of Juice, I believe it was everything that I remembered it to be.
Yeah, I don't think they cut anything.
They didn't cut anything out of Juice. They definitely didn't cut anything out of Juice because, like you say,
a lot of slurs.
Doc said over the break that he looked up more on Yolanda because we really had to figure her age. And somebody said Yolanda was the biggest criminal in this movie. And I agree because...
I mean, I don't because, murder. But I get the point they're trying to make.
No. And I'm going to go dive it a little bit deeper because not only is Yolanda having sex with Q and these teenagers... She also knows all of Q's friends. And Q's friends know her.
Enough to call her house.
So my question is, why is this lady so comfortable being around children? Like, what does Yolanda really have going on?
Issues, man. Issues.
Like, she getting divorced from Frank. Frank looking at Q because Frank already know what Q on. So not only is Yolanda messing with these young people, Frank also knows she's messing with these young people.
Well, and what's crazy is like Q comes across as the most normal one, but this boy don't even realize he's being traumatized and abused.
Right.
Wow. We just made this real dark.
Yolanda the villain, the biggest villain. And the crazy thing about it was I love Tupac so much that I tried to find a way to make Bishop a misunderstood child.
So they give a very brief hint, and I don't know if there's like a director's cut version of Juice, but they give a very brief hint early in the movie where I'm gonna piece things together because I'm gonna make some broad assumptions. I'm assuming Tupac's daddy is a traumatized military veteran.
That is what I assumed as well.
And you can see that Bishop is like that brief moment where he engages with him, like, well, he's just like, his dad's like kind of just staring at the TV and he just kind of looks at him with disappointment and then proceeds throughout his day. Like, it just communicates to me that maybe he was like a victim of some type of abuse when he was coming up, and it could have been like physical, mental, otherwise, but it has led him to be the person that he is now, who feels like, I need to take my life in control of my own hands. Maybe he feels like his father didn't do that. Because one day, so I guess when they're supposed to be at school, they're sitting around watching a movie and somebody like goes out and dies in the movie by getting shot. And Bishop was like, yeah, that's what we need to be doing. And everybody was looking at him like, what are you talking about?
What if Bishop suffered as a child from abuse from his father and he never understood the abuse, but he also never got the opportunity to confront his father because by the time he got old enough to understand it was abuse, his father was back from the military traumatized and wasn't even himself anymore. So Bishop would never get the closure that his father hurt him.
In the arms of the angel. Fly away.
He get deep on him. All right, but anyways, let's get back to it. So yeah, anyways, Bishop crazy. I tried to figure out a way to make him just a misunderstood child or something like that, but no, Bishop is crazy. Bishop is the true villain of this movie. This movie is geared towards everybody hating Bishop, and Tupac did a great job of just being crazy. Because honestly, I think everything could have been avoided if eventually like somebody is like smart enough to say, hey, we got to stop hanging out with Bishop. Let me tell you the first person that should have stopped hanging out with Bishop, and they should have been the easiest person to stop hanging out with Bishop. Raheem should have been the first person. You want to know why? Because if anybody was going to like flip and like take somebody out, it would have been Bishop. If Bishop was going to take anybody out, Raheem was going to be the first one, because Raheem, for some reason, thought he was like the leader of the crew. And I don't think Bishop cool with that.
I liked how they tried to treat Raheem like he was Ned Stark. Like when he got shot by Bishop, like I think the intent was not Raheem. Not the leader of the group.
But that's the thing. How you the leader? You can't be the leader. But also the writers were on the wall.
You can't be the leader. There's only one leader, and it's the craziest person in the room. Crazy always trumps leadership. You know, like nobody challenges crazy. And the issue with not challenging crazy is that means crazy is in charge. Crazy is always in charge. As Bishop said multiple times throughout this film, he used his crazy card anytime he needed to solve a disagreement. Why are you holding the gun? Because I got it. That's the answer.
Which I also have a problem with that, because if Raheem gonna be the biggest leader that he's supposed to be, why would y'all let Bishop hold the gun the day after he just said that he was inspired by the actions of Blizzard?
Because Raheem was trying to exercise diplomatic leadership. Also, Raheem had a short temper himself. See, there are no noble people. Honestly, I only have sympathy for one person in this film, and that's Steele.
Right.
Steele's the only, well, sort of, because Steele made some poor choices as well. But I have some level of sympathy for him, and like I'm 50-50 on Q. But Raheem, the manner in which he treated his baby mama early in the movie communicates to me he's not a good person either. He just snapped on her for no reason.
And that's the thing about it. I wanted to write that down, but I never did write it down, but I'm glad you brought it up. And I didn't have time to really sit down and find a way to figure out. But I was like, I think Raheem may be just as bad as Bishop. The only issue is we didn't get to see him live long enough to see him turn out to be bad. But I was like, I think Raheem just as crazy as Bishop. It was just certain things Raheem did. And I was like the way that like Bishop came up with the idea of we need to be doing things like Blizzard. Like Bishop, he was the bark, right? But Raheem is the brains. Oh, first of all, we clowning you, Q, on wanting to do your DJ thing. Like, you just a local DJ. You ain't even a star. Worst friends ever. But guess what? You know what, Q? We actually will come support you because we need an alibi. Who thinks that? Bishop is too crazy to think of an alibi, but Raheem is smart crazy. And I was like, Raheem just as crazy as Bishop, because why you so gung-ho about robbing this man? He ain't gonna pull no piece on us if we already got a piece. Look, who got the gun? Raheem. Bishop is crazy, but the only reason Raheem is dead is because Raheem is Raheem.
They two sides of the same coin. That's how Bishop knew, like, when stuff got shifty, he had to take Raheem out.
Yeah.
Because he knew Raheem was crazy.
And
You think Steele or Q was going to shoot Raheem? No. Q wasn't even willing to kill Bishop. Q hit Bishop with a headbutt, which is wild that you hit somebody with a headbutt in the middle of a fist fight. Number two, also reason why Bishop might be crazy is because he can't fight. Did you notice that? That's why he kept that gun. That's why he didn't get this courage and this boldness until he had a gun. When him and Q are going off the hands at the end of the movie, you can tell immediately, oh, your friend's got to jump in to help you fight all the time because you can't fight.
Now when you put it that way, he was the biggest talker, but Q pushed him in the apartment into the vase. But at the same time, Raheem jumped the hold back Bishop. Probably because he like, Bishop, we know you can't fight. We don't want this to happen. Chill. And every time he got hemmed up by the boys, by the Puerto Ricans, he never really... Well, he actually swung one time. As a matter of fact, that fight scene was so bad because Tupac missed. I mean, of course you could see, they don't really punch each other, but Tupac, and of course now it makes sense. It's his first movie. His punches were so short that it looked like a T-Rex. Go back and watch that fight scene when he fighting the Puerto Ricans and he gonna swing on the Puerto Rican and he gonna T-Rex it. He gonna T-Rex arm it, and it's like, Tupac, you didn't even make that believable, buddy. So maybe Tupac can't fight.